List Boeing 767, Cpat, general information and flight controls. 767 overview. Doors on the 300 passenger aircraft. There's a 1L door, a 1R door, forward entry, 2 overwing exits, 4 left and a 4 right door. On the 300 freighter, special freighter, and Boeing converted freighter, there is only a 1 left door. On 645 GT, there is a 1 left door, a 1 right door, a 2 left door, a 2 right door, and a 4 left door. Cargo compartment. Aft cargo compartment is a door on the right rear. Forward cargo compartment is a door on the right front. The bulk cargo is on the left rear, manually operated door, and is preferred for live cargo. Forward access door is forward of the nose gear in the center bottom of the fuselage. The E&E compartment door is aft of the nose gear in the center bottom of the fuselage. Fueling is on the left wing, outboard the engine. The exterior power panel is on the right side above the nose gear and includes the interphone connection. The O2 blowout disc is a green disc on the right side below the 1R door. 767-300 dimensions. Without winglets, the wingspan is 156 feet 1 inch. With winglets, it's 166 feet 11 inches. The length is 180 feet 3 inches, and the height is 52 feet 0 inches. Minimum pavement width for a 180-degree turn is 146 feet. The steering angle is 65 degrees. The field of view from the seat is 126 degrees, 130 degrees if leaning, vision to the rear, 34 degrees up, and 21 degrees down, which yields 39 feet 10 inches from the front of the nose. Cabin layout. Galley buses are powered when utility buses are powered. They may be shed during load shedding. Cabin signs. The fasten seatbelt sign in auto is on when the landing gear is not up and locked and the flap lever is out of up. The fasten seatbelt sign, regardless of switch position, comes on when the cabin is greater than 10,000 feet or passenger oxygen is deployed. The return to seat sign will illuminate with the fasten seatbelt sign, but extinguishes if the cabin goes above 10,000 feet. The no smoking sign is normally left on, but in auto it will come on when the landing gear is not up and locked. Flight controls pitch system. Elevators and stab trim are hydraulically powered. There are 3 actuators for each elevator, 1 per hydraulic system. The column can be overridden if it is jammed. Elevator deflection is shown on the status page with 1 pointer for each elevator. The elevator's feel system is powered by the left system by left hydraulics, the right system by center hydraulics. The stabilizer trim is powered by left hydraulics and center hydraulics. There's 2 stabilizer trim control modules and 2 stabilizer trim cutout switches, which are guarded switches on the center pedestal. The cutout switch removes respective hydraulic power from the associated trim control module and trim motor. There are 3 modes of stab trim control: electric, automatic, and alternate. All 3 use the elevator field computer to control the trim rate. As airspeed increases, trim rate decreases. The stabilizer trim position is on both sides of the control stand, which shows the stab position in units of trim. The green band is the takeoff trim range, and the off flag appears if electrical power is removed. If the control column moves opposite trim operation, the control column switches will interrupt the electric trim switch. This can be used to quickly arrest an electric trim runway. When one autopilot is engaged, trim operation disengages the autopilot. With more than one autopilot engaged, as in on an approach, the electric trim is inhibited. The alternate trim system is a backup system that overrides all other trim systems. It bypasses control column cutoff relays. It still uses hydraulics. Alternate trim will not disconnect the autopilot. The message of unscheduled stab trim on the ICAS, along with an unscheduled trim light and a caution message, will occur if with uncommanded trim movement, the stab moves opposite the control column, or alternate pitch trim is engaged with autopilot engaged. The automatic trim uses one trim control module and trims at half the electric trim rate. It's available when the autopilot is engaged. There is a pitch enhancement system which provides limited stab trim with the loss of left and center hydraulics. It uses a power transfer unit utilizing right hydraulic system pressure and trapped left hydraulic system fluid to provide a backup trim system. It comes on automatically with a loss of left and center hydraulics while in flight and operates at 1/4 the normal rate. It is activated by the electric trim switches. Flight control roll. Ailerons, inboard and outboard. The outboard ailerons are locked at high speed. The outboard ailerons are both powered by the left and right hydraulic systems. The inboard ailerons are powered by center hydraulics and their respective hydraulic system. Aileron position is indicated on the status page. Aileron trim use is prohibited with the autopilot engaged. If one or both outboard ailerons are unlocked at high speed, or one or both outboard ailerons are locked at low speed, an aileron lock light and an ICAS message aileron lockout are displayed. Spoilers. 6 panels on each wing. All panels are used in flight for automatic roll, for augmenting roll. All panels act as speed brakes in the air and on the ground. Panels are powered outboard to inboard on the left wing by left, right, center, 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 left, and on the right wing from outboard to inboard, left, right, center, 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 right. Panels are electronically controlled and hydraulically actuated. Spoilers are extended as speed brakes with the spoiler lever. Speed brakes can be extended with the gear extended. Flaps have to be equal to or less than 20 degrees. Speed brakes must be stowed with flaps greater than 20, and the altitude must be greater than or equal to 800 AGL. For ground spoiler operation, when the speed brake lever is armed, on landing, the lever moves aft to the up position if the hydraulic pressure to both main gear truck tilt actuators, both truck tilt sensors detect no tilt, i.e. on the ground, and both thrust levers are at idle. If any condition changes, the thrust lever moves to down and the spoilers retract. If speed brakes are not armed, auto spoiler activation occurs if either thrust lever is selected to reverse thrust. For takeoff, auto spoilers are not armed, but they will deploy with thrust reverser deployment on a rejected takeoff. Speed brake light, master caution beeper, and ICAS speed brakes extended message will occur if the flaps are in the landing position, 25 or 30, and the aircraft is less than 800 feet above ground level, and the speed brakes are not armed. An ICAS auto speed brake and auto speed brake light will occur if there's a fault in the auto extension system. If the lever is armed, the fault may yield to inadvertent extension. Move the lever to down and operate manually for landing. Flaps and slats. Flaps and slats are operated through left inboard, left outboard, trailing edge flat tower drive units. PDUs are supplied by the center hydraulic system. If center hydraulics is unavailable, an alternate system using electric motors can be used. Flap indication includes left and right pointers. The right pointer is usually hidden by the left. Flap positions are 1, 5, 15, 20, 25, and 30. Takeoff flaps are 5, 15, and 20, with 5 the most common. Landing flaps are 25 and 30. 20 is used for non-normal landings. Flat flat position speeds are flaps 1, 250 knots, flaps 5, 230 knots, flaps 15, 210 knots, flaps 20, 210 knots, flaps 25, 180 knots, and flaps 30, 170 knots. The slats are up with the in up position. They are in the takeoff position when flaps are 1 through 20, and they're in the landing position when flaps are 25 or 30. Flaps 1 position, the flaps remain up, but the slats move to the takeoff position. Flat maneuvering speeds allow for normal 25-degree bank for maneuvering plus 15 degrees before the onset of buffet for 40 degrees total. Speeds are normally set as bugs for takeoff and landing, and they are normally set as a flat 30 VREF speed plus a factor. The factor is for flaps 0, it's VREF plus 80 knots, for flaps 1, VREF plus 60 knots, flaps 5, VREF plus 40 knots, and for flaps 15 or 20, flaps VREF plus 20 knots. Flap load relief is armed with flaps in 25 or 30. If the airspeed exceeds the flap limit, the flaps will retract to 20 degrees. The only indication is that flap position does not agree with the selected position. The alternate flap system uses electrically driven PDUs and is used generally when center system hydraulics is unavailable. Flap extension takes approximately 4 times as long as normal, which is 2 minutes from flaps up to flaps 20. There are 2 switches, a leading edge flap and a trailing edge flap switch. Alternate flap selector is used to extend or retract the flaps or slats or both. Procedurally, no flaps are not greater than 20 degrees when using alternate flaps, since retraction for a go-around is too slow. Thus, the alternate flap position of 25 and 30 degrees are not used. In alternate operations, flap asymmetry and load relief is not provided. Flat asymmetry protection is still functional. For a leading edge slat disagreement, the leading edge light above the flap position indicator and the leading edge slat disagree light comes on. It indicates that slats are not driving toward their commanded position, and hydraulic power to the slats and the flaps is shut off. For a leading edge asymmetry, the leading edge light and ICAS leading edge slat asymmetry messages come on. Hydraulic power to just the slats is shut off. This inhibits the operation of slats and alternate as well. Trailing edge flap disagreement, the trailing edge light and the ICAS trailing edge flap disagree message come on. Flaps are not being driven to the selected position, and hydraulic power to flaps and slats is cut off. This message may also occur if the flap lever is not in a detent, so check that first. Trailing edge flap asymmetry, the trailing edge light and the trailing edge flap asymmetry messages occur and hydraulic power to flaps and slats is cut off. The flap up load relief in-op message occurs if the flap load relief does not function. This only occurs when it is trying to function, so when exceeding a limit. When the hydraulically driven generator is operating, hydraulic power to the hydraulically driven generator is primary. Flaps and slats may operate more slowly. This concludes the Cpat General and Flight Control review.